I thought I'd talk about my relationship to church. I considered the thoughts I wanted to share with y'all today as I tried to remember how I felt my first acknowledgement of being queer. Not that I knew what the word meant. I was 16 years old, and my friends just looked at me like I was strange. The first time telling those friends, they rejected me and said, "You can't be. You need to be locked up." Back in that period of time, your parents could have you committed. Thankfully, my folks didn't have much money, and so they couldn't pay to get me committed. But I did have friends. I did have friends that their parents did lock them up, and they did go through terrible things. So in that way, I was fortunate. It was like I had changed right before their eyes, as if something bad had happened to me. For in the early 70s, describing yourself as queer meant you were mentally deranged, someone not to be trusted with your children in any circumstance, let alone be a teacher or friend. What a journey I have traveled since coming out as a dyke. I look back, a snap of the finger, and time has zipped by. I verified this with Richard yesterday when I wrote him and said, "How long have you been coming to the church?" And he said, 2008. I've been coming since 2007. I thought, dang, 17 years. Yet prejudice continues to raise its ugly head in 2024, almost 50 years after I did come out. I was hopeful when we won the legal right to marry and be protected under federal laws that our civil rights would kind of shield us. Since that passage, 33 states have pushed through state laws under religious rights where we could be denied our services. A restaurant can say, "Please leave, we don't like your type." No, you can't stay at the B&B. Can't have a cake baked for our anniversary out of love if the person decides they don't like the way we are. And all other kinds of crazy situations. Now, I recognize many of you here today because I can refer to you as my church family, my friends, my family of choice. It is. Over the past Sundays, as I've listened to Richard share his message, I kept coming back to thinking about how each of us has our own story to tell. Often in my lesbian tribe, I share stories of Mighty Dyke, keeper of the lesbian secrets. They're light, fun. But today, I'm going to share a story that's heartfelt, that you help play in healing my bitterness and angriness towards religion and church. Like I said, 17 years ago, I walked through those doors. Marianne, my partner, now she says 39 years, will be 40 coming up soon. She asked me to be open and consider going to church. She had a friend who had attended here and thought it might be a good fit because it was non-traditional. I hadn't been in a church 30 plus years. I hated church. I was bitter. I was weary of being condemned for my life for loving someone that they didn't approve of. That said, I reluctantly agreed. And when the Sunday came that I was to come here, I put on my armor, readying myself for those sideways glances and those false hugs. For what had made me angry at religion, as I had started in 1970s, I had attended an open-minded theology college. I was working towards my teacher certification. I had served as a missionary abroad. I had made the honors list, all the while as being a very out lesbian. Then Anita Bryant happened. Save our children. Keep in mind, I was a child in many ways. Religious groups now had to decide their stance on this issue of homosexuals having civil rights. My college board president triggered new policies. Homosexuals would no longer be accepted at the school or represent the school in any fashion. we as homosexuals would be seen as sinful and somebody that should be asking forgiveness every day to be saved. My reaction, I was crushed, I was angry, I was devastated. I would not betray myself. I left the school, I left the church of which I had been a part of many years. I slammed that door so tightly on my heart, and I declared I'd never trust y'all again. Never. But so here I am, in front of you. And again, I pondered on what to share today. I mean, there's lots of stories. But what does family mean? What does church family mean? What is an ally? What is an advocate? What is a mentor before many that will be here following us? So here goes. 50 years ago today, even to present, I am called bull dyke, queer, sinner of God. And how do I respond to that? The then and now? I embrace the stereotype of a dyke. I put on my flannel shirt. This is a stereotype dyke. I'm just saying. And I want you to know, this is the one that I'm wearing today that I've been wearing for 50 years. I got a closet full of them. It is as a reminder of the scars, of the hurt, the rejection of many that tore away my youthful spirit. The damage done over the 50 years of being an out lesbian is like Linus and Charlie Brown. This is my blanket. I can feel the years as if yesterday among these worn threads of time from those who rejected me and those who have embraced me. I still walk with pride, not as much for myself, but those who will need acceptance and to be embraced. Today, my message would be to the newly coming out lesbians, queer tribe, allies, advocates, stand proud, even when rejected, and it hurts like hell. You don't have to struggle alone in this digital age of loneliness. We're here. When the real safe spaces have disappeared, we're here. Consider attending here where you will be seen, heard, and loved. For those of us who are willing to stand with and for you, for who you were meant to be. Now, just a second here. I'm going to get undressed. You know, I still wear my various shirts of pride. I don't have to wear this, except on days I'm feeling a little, down. I am an older lesbian in my 70s. I have a right to be myself. And amazingly, the high fives keep coming from different age groups and different directions. And those with the sideways glances, do me a favor, keep on walking by. Why is coming out still important today? To remind each of us we belong to each other, regardless of our lifestyles and walk of life. To be an advocate, an ally, a mentor, and a friend.